Welcome to the heart of Moroccan folklore, where history and the supernatural meet. Tonight, our subject is Aisha Kandisha, a figure who is perhaps the most famous and most feared female spirit in the entire country. To understand her, we first need to understand the concept of a jinn. In Islamic and older Arabian traditions, a jinn is a spirit creature. They are made of smokeless fire and exist in a parallel world to humans. They are not necessarily good or evil, but they possess free will and great power. Aisha Kandisha, however, is almost always seen as a dangerous and malicious entity. The central conflict of her story is the deceptive nature of beauty. She is a figure of stunning attraction, but this beauty is merely a horrifying mask. She is known as the spirit who seduces men only to drag them to utter ruin and death. Aisha Kandisha's legendary power lies in her appearance. She is described as an extraordinarily beautiful woman with long, captivating dark hair and eyes that can bewitch any man who looks at her. She often appears veiled or dressed in white, enhancing her mystery and allure. She may even appear as a beautiful hitchhiker on a lonely road, or a beautiful woman bathing in a stream. However, the secret to her true, non-human nature is always revealed by one detail: her legs. In Moroccan tradition, Kandisha has the lower body and hooves of a large animal, typically a goat or a camel. This animal feature, the hooves, is the ultimate proof that she is not a woman, but a monstrous jinn. For any man who encounters her, seeing her feet is the critical moment that allows him a chance to break the spell and escape. If he is too distracted by her beauty, he is lost. Kandisha is strongly connected to water. She waits by rivers like the Cebu in northern Morocco, streams, canals, and sometimes the sea. In folklore, these places are seen as dangerous boundary areas where the human world meets the spirit world. She is often called the Queen of the Waters because of this strong link, and she uses the water to hide her true form and to carry out her attacks. Aisha Kandisha mainly targets young, single men. She preys on those who wander alone at night or those who are easily led by lust. If a man is seduced, the consequences are catastrophic, resulting in one of three terrible fates: madness and delirium. The victim may lose his mind completely, descending into incurable insanity, often characterized by strange behavior or fits. Impotence. If the man escapes her grip but has been with her, he may lose his interest in all other women and become unable to be intimate with them, forever plagued by the memory of the jinn. Death. The most common end is for Kandisha to drown the victim or tear him apart, before possibly devouring him, showing her true horrific side after the seduction is complete. But there are rumored defenses. To escape her enchantment, a man must first recognize her hooves. If he realizes her nature, he can try to break her hold. Steel and iron. She is thought to fear steel, iron, and sharp objects like knives and needles. Fire. One popular tale says that men can escape her by quickly pulling off their turban or head covering and setting it on fire, as jinn are generally thought to be scared of fire. Aisha Kandisha is a dangerous spirit of the water. Now we dive into a crucial and fascinating counter-theory, that this terrifying myth started with a real human hero. The historical setting for this origin story is the 16th century. This was a difficult time for Morocco, as the country was weakened and various European powers, particularly the Portuguese, were taking control of coastal cities like El Jadida, then known as Mazagan. While the rulers struggled, tribal groups and local people began their own fights for freedom. It is within this chaotic period of resistance that the legend of Aisha Kandisha may have been born. The historical theory suggests that Aisha Kandisha was a woman of notable status, perhaps the daughter of a tribal chief or a well-known noblewoman. She was known for her incredible beauty and spirit. The tragedy that turned her into a figure of vengeance was the death of someone close to her, her husband, fiancé, or family, at the hands of the Portuguese invaders. Driven by immense grief and a burning patriotic rage, she took a vow to fight back, but not through typical battlefield combat. She decided to use the one weapon she possessed that was more powerful than any sword: her devastating beauty. Her mission was to fight the colonizers using deception, making her a unique figure in the history of resistance. Aisha Kandisha's strategy was brilliant and brutal. She would use her charms to approach Portuguese soldiers who were alone or away from their camps. She would pretend to be a woman seeking companionship, She would then lure these soldiers into secluded, dark areas, often near rivers or in dense woods, where Moroccan resistance fighters were hidden and waiting. Once the soldier was distracted and helpless, the fighters would ambush and kill them. This tactic was incredibly effective and began to spread panic among the invading army. The soldiers couldn't explain why so many of their men, seemingly healthy and strong, were disappearing after encountering this one mysterious, beautiful woman. Due to her success and the fear she instilled, the Portuguese soldiers gave her a nickname, La Condessa, which means the Countess in their language. As this foreign nickname was passed around by the local people and changed over time, it eventually became the name we know today, Kandisha. The story of the Countess who fought the invaders was powerful, but it was not enough to explain the terror she caused. After her eventual death, the story merged with the older, existing local beliefs about malicious spirits and water jinn. Her patriotic actions were forgotten by some, and her angry, vengeful spirit was left behind to haunt the land, forever seeking revenge against men, regardless of their nationality. This dual nature, human hero and terrifying spirit, is what makes Aisha Kandisha so important in Moroccan culture. In Morocco, the belief in jinn is a deep-rooted part of spiritual life, existing alongside Islamic practices. These spirits are not distant myths. They are believed to be real forces that can influence human lives for better or for worse. Aisha Kandisha is one of the most recognized and powerful of these spirits, often referred to with respect and fear as Lala Aisha. Lala means lady or mistress. She is seen as the leader or jinn of the rivers, reinforcing her connection to water. Some traditions even link her lineage to the powerful Sidi Shamrish, who is revered as the Sultan, king of the jinn, lending her immense authority in the spirit world. Kandisha is most feared for her ability to possess or permanently torment men. When she targets a victim, her possession is described in a unique way. The crack. Instead of completely taking over a man's body, like in some Western exorcism stories, it is sometimes said that Lala Aisha creates a crack in the man's spiritual shield. This doesn't just let her in. It opens the man up to a storm of other jinn and negative influences. The eternal openness. Once this crack is created, she rarely leaves. She stays, guaranteeing the victim's permanent vulnerability. The madness. A man possessed by Aisha Kandisha can descend into severe mental illness, displaying signs of fear, paranoia, or depression. In some traditional accounts, the possessed individual might even exhibit animalistic behavior, such as braying or barking, a symbolic reflection of her own animal hooves. The terrifying twist is that the only way for the victim to maintain some level of sanity is to participate with her, to acknowledge her presence and listen to her, essentially becoming her devoted slave. Due to her power, special traditional rituals are needed to deal with Aisha Kandisha. The Nawa people, a spiritual group in Morocco known for their deep knowledge of jinn and healing rituals, are central to this. The Lilis. The Nawa hold all-night ceremonies called Lilis. These rituals involve intense, rhythmic, ancient music, dancing, and the burning of specific incense. Each jinn, including Aisha Kandisha, is associated with a specific color, rhythm, and scent. The goal, the purpose of the Lala is twofold: to appease or to exorcise Lala Aisha from the person she has possessed. The intense music is meant to bring the possessed person into a trance state so that the spirit can be safely addressed. Beyond these formal rituals, people practice smaller acts of appeasement. Offerings. Historically, people might leave small offerings like candles, money, or food near her known haunts, riverbanks. Sacrifice. In the past, people would sometimes sacrifice a black goat or a black rooster to gain her favor or satisfy her anger, as black animals are often linked to spirits and the jinn world. This shows that Lala Aisha remains a powerful, active force in the daily spiritual reality of many Moroccans. The story of Aisha Kandisha has survived for centuries because it is flexible and powerful. In the modern era, scholars, artists, and feminists are looking past the scary hooves and focusing on her powerful, defiant nature. They are attempting to reclaim her image, challenging the patriarchy. In many traditional tales, women who are powerful, clever, or overly sexual are demonized. They are turned into witches or monsters. Modern analysis suggests that the myth of Aisha Kandisha is a reflection of men's fear of female power and independence, female agency and vengeance. By focusing on her historical role as La Condessa, she becomes a potent symbol of female agency. She took revenge for a personal tragedy and then used her unique power, beauty and intelligence to fight a powerful enemy, colonialism. She represents a woman who refuses to be a victim, the subversive woman. For some, Aisha Kandisha represents a powerful feminine force that goes against traditional expectations of women being quiet or submissive. She is wild, unpredictable, and dangerous, a symbol of subversive rule-breaking power. As a national icon, Kandisha appears frequently in modern Moroccan and international media, ensuring her story continues to evolve. Music. Her presence in music is ancient, stemming from the Nawa Lilis, discussed in Part 3. Her name is often invoked in traditional Nawa songs, where different rhythms are dedicated to her. This association keeps her spiritual power alive and present in Morocco's musical heritage. She has also been referenced in contemporary Moroccan popular music and rap. Literature. Writers have explored her story to discuss themes of gender, history, and the clash between tradition and modernity. She often appears as a metaphor for Morocco's struggle with identity and its colonial past. Film. She crossed over into international media with the 2020 French horror film, Kandisha. This movie brings the ancient Moroccan legend to a modern urban setting, introducing her terrifying jinn form, hooves and all, to a global audience. Her appearance in film shows that her scary power still translates effectively to modern horror storytelling, journalism and magazines. Her name has even been adopted by Moroccan feminist publications and cultural magazines, using her image as a defiant mascot for women's rights and expression. Aisha Kandisha is not a simple monster story. Her legend is rich because it holds three essential, true facts about Moroccan culture. Fact of belief, jinn, the deep and enduring belief in the reality of the jinn world, and the necessity of spiritual rituals, like the Nawa Lilis, to handle these forces. Fact of history, resistance, the memory of fierce local resistance against colonial powers in the 16th century, symbolized by the legendary actions of La Condessa. Fact of cultural dialogue, modern symbol, her continuing role as a central figure in modern cultural and academic discussions about female power, sexuality, and cultural identity. Whether she is a jinn, a ghost, or a historical heroine, Aisha Kandisha remains one of the most powerful and meaningful figures in Moroccan tradition, forever embodying the alluring, terrifying, and defiant power of the feminine spirit. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the complex and terrifying legend of Aisha Kandisha. If you love exploring myths, monsters, and dark history like this, please head over to our YouTube channel, The Midnight Stories. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this story. Subscribe to The Midnight Stories and follow us for more tales from the shadows.